pulling this up on here. Hey, we got 2 more subscribers.
We're at 44 now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where y'all came from, but we sure do appreciate y'all. I don't know where y'all came from, but we sure do appreciate y'all.
You guys are live?
Yes, we are live. Let me get the chat. Does it look like if I do that?
That's how we had it last time.
Yeah, we'll start off without it and then see how we go. Do you see? I know you're going to see me through it. Where's it? There it goes. All right, cool. So, were you able to see if anybody you knew was hopping on here?
A couple of them said they were.
Sweet. Well, I've got my LoneStar poll pulled up for week 2, and then as soon as somebody joins,
Bryce is at a baseball game, so.
At a baseball game?
Yeah, he's at the Astros Rangers game.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I think so.
Who's he rooting for?
I don't know.
If he's rooting for the Astros, then he kind of sucks.
Yeah. I mean, the Rangers suck, but hey, I'm a Rangers fan. So.
I mean, Rangers suck, but I still want them to win. Yeah.
Oh, bro, my chair is dope.
I can't see the top of it.
I know. Try to get people to hop on.
Do what? I'm gonna text Lane and Preston. Copy text message.
Oh, bro, Brett Yermark was talking about how he's eyeing to go out west.
So the Pac-12, essentially. Essentially, that's what out west is. I mean, that could work out. That could work out pretty good.
I think so. It depends on what teams we have.
If you had
now,
Oregon,
my thing is, does that mean San Jose State or does that mean Oregon?
According to you, all wins and losses are made equal. So what's it matter if it's a big program or a little one?
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, I went there.
Can't believe you went there, bud.
Ready for I need people to join so that I can ask them how they feel about
We got 3.
We got 3. Sweet.
My boy Preston hopped on. What's up, Preston?
So, buttermilk. Preston, I think Sydney shot Dalen a text earlier about if y'all are going to the Pasadena game this Friday. I don't know who we're playing. I think it's Pasadena's homecoming, though.
The 3rd week? Well, I'll say that. I think ours is next week.
I know. We used to do homecoming during, like, October.
Like, district and everything.
Yeah.
We always did it late. Whenever I was in Quitman. And then I moved to West Rust, and they were like, nah. We do that early.
Volleyball.
We're actually good at football.
Volleyball did their senior night on like game 2.
That's not how that works.
Nope.
I didn't think so. Dang, somebody been clicked off of it. Oh, fake.
Yeah, so we're gonna do our LoneStar poll here pretty soon. Yeah. See if you got some more of your friends are about to hop on. I sent this text out to a couple. So. Your friends got on a lot. I forgot to even tell Preston Lane that we did one last week after first Friday. Friday's my last day of work. So that's fine. We'll be. I think that's the one we had already talked about going to. So.
Boy, what did you send me?
You just not saying that.
Oh my gosh.
Preston, while you're here, I got to ask you a very important question because me and Logan had a pretty heated debate earlier. Man. And Preston, you know me pretty well. I'm not a Notre Dame fan, but Logan is of the opinion that since Baylor swept the floor against FCS Albany and Notre Dame lost by 11 to Ohio State, that Baylor should be ranked higher than Notre Dame. What are your thoughts on that? Just curious.
Notre Dame is overhyped. Every year.
Notre Dame might be overhyped, but they lost by 11 when the spread against them was 17.5. This is Jared. How will losing Joe Mcguire affect Baylor this season? How do you think Tech will do this season? Joe Mcguire was he? Joey Mcguire wasn't there last year, was he?
I think it was Jeff Grimes last year. This is his first year at Tech. I think that he was there like halfway through the season last year, maybe. I'm pretty sure Grimes was there last year. I don't think we lost any coaching besides our receivers coach.
And we talked about Tech a little earlier today at work because Tyler Stroh is hurt. Any update on that? Let me check on ESPN.
He's out for a couple weeks.
I think we play in week 4, so I just need him to be out for like 3 more weeks.
I wouldn't even be worried about that game if I was you.
I'm not worried about the game, but
Jared, I don't see Baylor have much of a drop off because of coaching. Now, talent wise, I think that's where it's going to get us because we have such a young receiving core. I think it's going to take a couple games for Blake Shapen to be able to come in. No, he was the offensive coordinator. But I think it's going to take a while for Blake Shapen to get a good relationship with those receivers. I know that Dave Aranda said that they've been working on that in the offseason a lot. Just kind of sitting down, talking to people, hanging out with people that you necessarily wouldn't before. And with Blake Shapen being the starting quarterback, that's going to give him a lot more of those opportunities to be able to get more connected with those receivers, like on a personal level. Because to Baylor, it's more than just football. We've heard Dave Aranda and the players talk about that over and over again. It's more than football. It's more about having the family connection and everything.
Preston says, I hate Notre Dame. They've always been overhyped. Besides 2011, they still got touched by Bama, and Baylor is a defending conference champion. Personally,
see, that's what I'm saying, Preston. I'm not saying he needs to be out of the top 10.
So the question is now, are you ranking them based on how you think they are, or just win and losses? Because wins and losses are not created equal. A win is not just a win, and a
My
loss is
question
not
for
just a
that
loss.
Notre Dame game in Ohio State is that Ohio State's offense didn't play good, but is that because of Notre Dame's defense, or is that because they just had an off night with their new starting receivers? Because they replaced two of their starting receivers, right?
Notre Dame?
No, Ohio State.
Well, kinda. They replaced its two starters, yes. Not their best one. Chris Olave and Garrett Wilson are gone, but
Yeah.
Jackson Smith and Jigba's the best one. Jared just sent me a picture. So it showed that Joey Mcguire was Baylor's assistant head coach and outside linebacker coach last year. Oof. Dang, you call yourself a Baylor fan? You don't even know what your coaches are coaching, my guy.
I guess so.
I'm gonna have to replace you. I'm gonna call Sick'em365, see if they got anybody.
No, Christian, you already talked about that. They're too up in your face.
They're so bad. What do you think, Jared? Do you think Notre Dame should be ranked below? Am I the only one? I don't like Notre Dame. I have nothing for Notre Dame. But I just think they lost by 11 on a game where their spread was 17.5. I feel like they should probably. They are in the AP poll. They are ranked higher than Notre Dame or than Baylor, which I think is fine.
Trying to figure out who we brought in to replace him because I thought he was more on the offensive side of the ball. I know in 2018 he was a tight ends coach. Maybe that's why I'm getting confused. But I don't. Even then, I don't see much drop off on the defensive side either. I mean, coaching wise, talent again, that's another thing where we got to have those leaders step up and be able to play the roles. It's a lot easier said than done, filling the shoes of Terrell Bernard and Jalen Petrie. But
Yeah.
I think that Dylan Doyle and Bryson Jackson will be able to step up for sure.
Notre Dame is fine. They've shown consistently the last years they can win in the regular season. They lost to Cincinnati last year, and Cincinnati did make playoffs. I mean,
yeah, but that's a group of 5 school. Who else did they play besides Notre Dame? And Houston,
nobody,
I guess.
really.
If you want to make that argument.
Here's the problem. Notre Dame last year lost to Cincinnati, and then they lost to Oklahoma State in their bowl game.
Yep.
This year, they lost to Ohio State. If they run the table this year, then you can make an argument that their last 3 losses are 2 playoff teams and Oklahoma State, who finished 6th last year.
Yeah.
I mean, Baylor lost.
If they run the tables, I'm with them having a 4 spot.
Baylor. Hey, let's put it this way, and Jared, close your ears. Baylor. So Notre Dame last year lost to Oklahoma State and Cincinnati. Y'all last year lost to Oklahoma State and TCU.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to say that Notre Dame's 2 losses are better than y'all's 2 losses.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, but y'all won y'all's bowl game, quality losses. But y'all won y'all's bowl game. Y'all got redemption over Oklahoma State. So I mean that kind of helps.
Yeah, we
but
won the Big 12 championship.
And to be fair, y'all beat Oklahoma State by about that much. I give if all dude's wingspan is just a little bit longer, he breaks that pylon. I mean, like I said, I don't have nothing for Notre Dame. I'd rather see Baylor make playoffs than Notre Dame, but I'm fine with Notre Dame continuing to be ranked higher than y'all as far as this poll goes. I'm back. Ask away. So here's what we'll do. Since we got a couple people here, we Preston and Jared, we do what is called our LoneStar poll. So we look TCU. Oh, okay. Well, I answer this question. TCU over under 7.5 wins. This tells me
is that the projected over under?
I don't know, but this tells me Jared did not watch our Big 12 prediction video. All right, so I've got my notes pulled up here from the Big 12 prediction video, and I will tell you that I actually had TCU going 7-5, But I said 8-4 is more likely than 6-6 because you have games. Texas, Baylor, Oklahoma State, and K-State. Y'all could very easily win one of those.
But it's at Baylor at Texas.
If you put the number at 6.5, I'm taking the over pretty easily. At 7.5, I would probably lean under. But
Yeah.
I think it's because I think 7-5 is probably what y'all go. But I would go 8-4 before I went 6-6. Texas, Baylor.
On mine, I had them at 6-6.
I wouldn't be surprised if y'all go 8-4.
I had them at 6-6, but I can see where they beat Kansas State on the road. I can see or at home. I can see where they beat West Virginia on the road. I can see 8-4. I just put what I think what will happen because they're playing in Morgantown. And then I think K-State, Deuce Vaughn's going to be able to run the field. But if they can stop him, that's fine. I can see them going 7-5.
I have them beating West Virginia. I think they'll beat West Virginia. Now, mind you, West Virginia played better than I thought they would against Pitt. Really, JT Daniels didn't lose that game. That receiver lost that in that game.
Did I put them losing that game?
You picked
Pitt. I have them losing that one. They played Kansas
because you did that in our in the LoneStar Locks. You picked Pitt to cover. Nope, I didn't. It's all good.
I didn't know y'all were pumping out that many videos.
Yeah, we're trying to. We've watched a couple of videos on channels, and it's kind of saying pump out videos, and people will randomly catch on. What about the Tech game? I'm guessing TCU and Tech.
Are you talking about?
Are you talking about Tech this week against Houston or the TCU and Tech game? Because we talk about TCU.
He probably just hopped on.
Probably. Well, while we wait, I'll talk about the TCU Tech game. I think TCU will beat Tech. I've got them winning that one. Yep. I'm not. I wouldn't be surprised if Texas hangs 70 again on Tech. I don't think Tech is that good. Tyler Stroh's hurt. We'll see when he comes back.
Yeah. That'll be the big thing for going into week 4 against Joe is if Tyler Stroh's there. And even if he is, I don't see Tech winning that game.
Unless we just get clobbered by Bama and then go into UTSA and lose, and then we're on our losing streak, then maybe
last year.
Yeah, maybe we don't win another game. You never know. Texas Tech versus Murray State. Yeah, I'm gonna go Murray. No, I'm just kidding.
No, that was week 1. I don't remember the score of that one.
Yeah,
Tyler Stroh got hurt.
I looked at that Tech and Murray State game briefly while I was on. I was kind of busy that day.
Let's see if I can pull up the score real quick.
So Tech won 63-10.
It's not bad. My question would be, when did Tyler Stroh get hurt?
Full box score.
He only threw 10 attempts for 154 yards. That's pretty dang good. It's only 1 touchdown, though, no interceptions. Looks like their backup came in and threw the deep bomb like crazy. Goodness.
Against a team like Murray State, I would say 14 of 16. Maybe Tech's got a little bit more depth than I thought they did.
Yeah,
running backs played good. 8.3, 6.9. Let me ask something. Did Tyler show? Oh, it's Show, not Stroh. Did Tyler show or Salt, whatever you say? Did he get hurt on his 17-yard rush? Is that the play he got hurt on, or did he get sacked?
Okay, so their backup quarterback, Donovan Smith, sophomore, 6'5", 230. That's a pretty big dude.
He's a big dude.
Apparently doesn't look too terrible. Makes me wonder how big that quarterback competition was in the offseason. That looks good for Joey Mcguire coming out with the first win. Let's see if it says Smith had scoring tosses on his first 2 passes. Wow. after replacing Tyler Show in the first half. Dude, last year he broke his left collarbone at the end of the season. Was on the sideline in the second half of the sling, same thing, shoulder.
Oh wow! So if he re-aggravated that, he could be out for a minute.
That's what I'm thinking. Smith would push it on drop that.
Hey,
starters.
I
Yep,
hope
17-yard run on the first down.
And he got
hurt on
that.
that 17-yard. Yep. That's one of those things you
better
get
down. He comes back on week 5, and I hope he stays in the pocket.
You want them to go at K-State and catch an L?
Oh, I'm fine with them beating K-State. I'll root for Tech over K-State. I'll root for the Texas team over K-State. That don't matter to me.
Yeah.
I'm
just going off my predictions.
I would rather K-State win so that when Texas beats them, they'll be ranked. But Texas gets to beat Bama this weekend, so we don't even got to worry about ranked opponents.
Okay.
Yeah. But
you want to go ahead and start on these LoneStar poll?
Yeah. So Taylor and Preston, if you're still in, Jared had to hop off, but we look at the AP poll and we don't tell each other our own poll. We each create our own poll, what we think they should look like. We did one we didn't do one last week. We did one for week 0, and then a week passed, and then week 1, and then now we're doing it. So, you got yours pulled up already?
Yeah, I got mine pulled up. I'm just looking for the AP poll. That way I can get it.
I've got it. I've got the AP. I write it down.
Okay, well, I got it.
You can still pull it up. All right, well, Logan, who is your number 1 team according to L. Patterson?
The Georgia Bulldogs.
All right, real quick. I know this is a college page, but real quick, Bills versus Rams over under 55 under. Those are probably the best 2 defenses in the league. I'll take the under on that.
Those are probably over under
55. The only problem is you got Stafford and Cooper Kupp,
crazy.
and then you've got Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. I've got Stephon Diggs on fantasy, so I would. The question is, does defense win?
So that would be what, 23-22 if it was at 55.
A 23-22 game would push.
I'm going over. I feel like that'll be a pretty decent scoring game. I feel like that'll be like a 35-28 kind of game. Nothing crazy, I guess. I'm going to go over on that one. I think the defenses are good. Both defenses are like top 5 for sure, in my opinion.
But the
Rams secondary is crazy. Yeah, their offenses are dope.
Are their offenses dope, or is it just Cooper Kupp's dope, Stephon Diggs is dope, Josh Allen and Stafford are dope, Devin Singletary is not amazing. The Rams, who's their running back?
Slipped my mind.
Exactly. I don't know, Preston. I feel like I want to trust that those defenses are going to come out and play hard. And
somebody write this down. We can add this to the record.
Are we going to do that?
No, I'm joking.
No, yeah, I don't want to do that.
I think it's over though.
I would take the under.
Oh, Cam Akers.
Cam Akers was hurt a lot last year.
Yeah, but it's the first game of the season. It's not going to be Tyler Show and go get hurt.
Against the Bills, he might not have a 17-yard rush. So
Sure.
I don't know, man. Think about it this way: the Rams last year had what's that guy's name from the Broncos? Played for the Aggies. Von Miller.
Von Miller. This is not a Pepsi Taylor. I'm going on the 0 sugar diet thanks to Christian.
Now Von Miller's on the Bills. The Rams got Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey. The Bills got Von Miller and Oliver, last name Oliver.
And Co. Their defense is actually pretty good for Von Miller to be the only one I recognize outside of my head. I don't pay
I'm
attention
taking
to
the
NFL
under.
much anymore.
I don't know, Preston. If you're betting somebody on this, I wouldn't listen to me.
I
But I
wouldn't
want
listen to
to
me
trust.
either.
Don't listen to me. You want to listen to me? Go listen to our Lone Star Locks pod. I did better than Logan week 1, but I didn't think Georgia would cover the spread on Oregon. And I was way wrong. And listen, the only reason I said that is because Georgia's DC, Dan Lanning, is now the head coach for Oregon. So I was like, yeah, he'll be able to slow them down. Nope, he wasn't able to do
Psych.
nothing. 49-3, lost that one.
That's
But
Bo
speaking of that,
Nix's fault.
I also have Georgia at number 1. The AP poll has Bama at number 1. Bama played pretty good, but I don't know.
I forgot about that. I don't know how much he's suspended for, or if he is, he might just got fined.
If he's suspended for the whole game, I mean,
Let's go ahead and talk about our Lone Star.
If he's
Poll, and
suspended
then
for
we'll
the
get
whole
to that.
game, that might help you reach the over because their defense will be missing a piece. But
yeah,
Bama played nobody. They won by a lot. Georgia played number 11 Oregon and stomped them.
Stomped.
Georgia's reigning national champs. I felt like they should have been. I didn't. I had Georgia at number 2 last week. So they had Georgia at 3 though. So I already was higher on Georgia than the AP poll was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that was my reasoning for it too. Was that Georgia's win was a lot more impressive to me than Alabama's.
For sure. I had Bama at 2, where the AP poll had Georgia at 2. Usually the same. Let's kind of move until we get to something that might be a little more different. Ohio.
I put Michigan. I didn't like how. I don't know. To be honest.
Oh, here you are trying to discredit Notre Dame's win. Oh my gosh.
That's not even discrediting their win. I'm just saying like their offense didn't play as good as I thought it did.
Not their win. Notre Dame lost, but their loss.
Yeah. I guess you can say that. I don't know. I think Michigan played better than Ohio State, but they also played Colorado State, so those are kind of interchangeable.
Exactly. No, TCU played Colorado State.
It's right there.
Jared said, I don't know if he's back on. He said he watched TCU versus Colorado last week. Colorado's bad. But the new 3. Okay, so this is why O'Shawn Mathis transferred. For those who don't know, it's because TCU with a new DC is now running 3-3-5 instead of a 4-3 defense. He said TCU's playing fast. They tackle very well. TCU's offense has a ton of speed. Will be interesting to see how the season goes. I like that they played a P5 school before FCS. They get to see some real action and take a tune-up week to iron things out.
Colorado.
Oh, so maybe Michigan didn't play Colorado State.
Yeah, it was 51-7 Michigan, obviously.
I mean, yeah, Colorado isn't great, but they are Power 5. I will give pretty much any Power 5 school a bump over any FCS school.
Yeah.
I
didn't like how, I don't know. I feel like Ohio State's offense wasn't as explosive as I wanted it to be, and I think that's why I put Michigan.
Because they played a highly ranked Notre Dame team.
But, that's why. That's why.
I had Ohio State at 3. I had Michigan at 4. That part of that is because I think Ohio State will beat Michigan later at the end of the season. So I don't see why, if they're both winning with no losses, I don't know why I'd rank Ohio State under Michigan if I think Ohio State would beat Michigan. That's really my only reason for that. Number 5, I think we'll have different because I have Clemson at 5.
That's what we got.
They didn't start off hot against GA Tech.
Yeah.
What?
That's what I have. I have Clemson.
They didn't start off hot, but they finished. Oh, good. They finished pretty well. DJ Uiagalelei didn't play terrible. Cade Klubnik came in and played a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised to see him starting by the end of the season.
Yeah, I think that's what I heard on Sikkim 365 during their live stream. Hello?
Yeah.
Your video is really blurry on my side.
Mine is.
Yeah.
Yeah, yours
But
is
yeah,
long.
DJ Uleongalale, or however you say his name, he didn't play great. But Cade Klubnik came in and he really stepped up. And like Christian said, I wouldn't be surprised to see him start by next week, honestly. Maybe not this game, but the next. I think Cade Klubnik would be pretty good for Clemson's offense. They started running different stuff. Like they had him rolling out and hitting throws that they weren't doing with DJ. And I don't know if that's because they didn't hurt DJ or DJ can't make those throws. I see Klubnik starting.
I would like to see Klubnik start. I mean, I got to watch him in high school in the state champ game. He's pretty good. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
I had Notre Dame at 6, right under Clemson. Notre Dame was 5 last week. They lost to the number 3 team in the country, or number 2. What were they last week? Last week they were number 2.
Oh.
Last week they were number 2. So Notre Dame, they lost by 11 to the number 2 team in the country. I dropped them from 5 to 6. I'm not going to punish a team that bad for losing to a team they're supposed to lose to.
What are we on, 6?
Yeah, and the A people has the Aggies at 6.
I got Baylor.
I bet you do.
I do.
I bet you do. Go ahead. Explain it, Logan.
What do you mean? What is there to explain? We went out and donkey stomped a team with their first year starting quarterback.
Oh my gosh. Okay, and we went and donkey stomped a
You watched the game, right?
We went and donkey stomped a FBS team with a first career game starting quarterback.
We'll get to Texas when we get there, okay? Okay.
I'm just saying, y'all played Albany, bro. Albany.
I'm interested to see where you got us then.
Well,
I think I got a feeling.
So at number 7, I have the Aggies. I think their offense is going to be bad. I think Haynes King is not going to be very good. But I think Anaya Smith is going to be good, and I think A-Chain is still fast. So I think that'll help them. Their offensive line will help them, but I think their defense is probably what's going to win them games. So I have them at 7, where that is where the A people had Notre Dame. So I just had those two switched.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. I put Oklahoma at 7. I don't think Dylan Gabriel really showed me anything too great, but they played UTEP. They beat them.
No, Logan, you don't get to do that. You don't get to talk bad about any team that somebody played. You're losing privileges.
Did I say bad that UTEP is bad?
They played UTEP.
I mean, I was just saying they played UTEP. He threw 15 for 23. I mean, 65%. That's fine. But whenever he goes from UCF being the best quarterback UCF's ever seen to throwing 65% against a Group 5 school, I mean, it's the same thing. Like,
no.
I'm not worried about Dylan Gabriel this year.
All right, at number 8 is where I have the Baylor Bears. For those wondering, Baylor in my books jumped from last week. I think I had them at 9. This week I've got them at 8. They won. Really, nothing about what that game moved them up or down. It was more or less Utah dropped out of the top 10, and that moved Baylor. That moved everybody up one spot. That was
Baylor only moved up one spot on mine. I don't know why you're tripping.
Yeah, because you have them at 5 right now. That's why I'm tripping.
I have them at 6.
Not much better. So right underneath, who'd you have? Who do you have at 7?
I had Oklahoma at 7.
You have Oklahoma at 7. That's who I have at 8. Wait, is that 9? That's who I have at. No, at 7 is where I have Baylor. So 8 is where I have Baylor. 7 is A&M. 9 is OU. So me and the AP poll are just swapped as well. Moving right along. My next two are USC and Oklahoma State. That is exactly matched up with the AP poll at 10 and 11.
Well, okay, so 8 I have Arkansas. 9 I have Oklahoma State. Are we caught up on the same page now?
You just said 8 and 9?
Yeah, I have Arkansas and Oklahoma State.
Arkansas and Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
So
that moved to Arkansas 2 spot. No, Arkansas moved up 3 spots. Oklahoma State moved 2.
But last week, where was Arkansas? Arkansas last week was 19. And you moved them up to number 8 for beating.
Number 11.
Okay, so tell me today, year to Logan, that Arkansas beat a team that was of a worse ranking than them, and you jumped them up from 19 to 11.
I didn't have them at 19.
Where'd you have them at?
I had them at 11, and I moved them up to 8.
I moved them up from 14 to like 13. I just moved them up 1 spot. But I dropped Cincinnati. Preston, if you have other questions, you can ask us some questions. We'll get back to the poll. We didn't talk about any of these earlier. Maybe we should talk about them at work.
Yeah.
So you said 11 was Arkansas, 12 was who? Oklahoma State?
Oklahoma State is number 9. Arkansas is 8. And then A&M is number 10. I don't like their offense. Their defense is good. Their defense is going to carry them this year. But I don't see them getting too far with having Haynes King. But that's me. And then 11, I have Florida.
You jumped Florida from unranked to 11. Aren't you just talking crap about how the poll jumped them from unranked to 12? You definitely mentioned that at work.
No, I said if. What did I say? I think I was talking crap for you.
I don't
know. Why would I have crap to talk about that?
I don't know. You said something. Because you don't understand at all how rankings work.
I guess. Haynes King is a bum. That is correct.
Haynes King is a bum.
Okay, hot take on Haynes King. His daddy was his head coach and athletic director at Longview, and I guarantee you he had connections at Texas A&M. He does not deserve to be a Power 5, especially in the SEC, a Power 5 quarterback.
I don't know if I'd say that because I'm pretty sure Texas offered Haynes King. So if Haynes King had came to Austin, then he'd be pretty dope. But he didn't. So
unbiased opinion.
Quinn Ewers is the one who's gonna be good. They were in the same class until Quinn Ewers reclassified.
Mm-hmm.
So going to mine on teen is where I have Arkansas. I had them at 14 last week. The AP poll has them at 16. I kind of want to. We don't really have to talk about all these. I kind of am curious to where do you have NC State? Kids at 20.
18.
Yeah. You have NC State at 18.
Yeah.
So if you remember at work today, I said there was one team I was curious to see where you had them.
And it was NC State?
NC State is at 18 in the AP poll. You have them at the same spot. NC State beat East Carolina 21-20. Only because East Carolina, I think either they missed or they went for two and didn't get it. So this is where I need you to explain to me how in the world you rank a win and a loss. Because if a 1-point win over East Carolina stays the same, but you want to drop Notre Dame for losing to a team by 11 that they technically should have lost by 17 and a half, your math just ain't mathing.
To be honest, dude, I filled this out at like midnight last night, and I probably just saw where they had them and just put them in there.
Oh,
I can't explain that one.
They're not even in my top 25. I said RIP Aaron Hernandez. I'm taking App State over A&M at a 19.5-point spread, man. Maybe. I think the problem is going to be North Carolina sucks. So App State almost beat North Carolina, but I think A&M's defense is going to – they're way better than App State is. But, hey, I hope you're right. Okay. Moving right along. Where does Logan Patterson have the BYU Cougars?
I put them at 21.
So you kept them right there.
Yeah, I mean USF, Gary Bohannon played like crap. I mean it's a quality win. It was 50-21, I guess. Not I guess, but that's what the score was. I'm pretty sure if it wasn't a little bit more. It was USF. It was in Florida. Gary Bohannon threw like 50%. I believe I'm correct on that one. Yeah, it was 50-21. I think BYU is going to be a dope team. I think their defense is going to be stout like they were last year. I think they returned 8 on both sides of the ball. They're going to come. They're going to come this Saturday, and they're going to want revenge. Do I think they'll get it? Maybe. Depends on what Baylor team shows up. If we're going to show up and be scared of the big lights in Provo, then I think BYU can beat us. But if Baylor shows up the way that they need to, I think Baylor's going to win that game.
Preston, what do you think? It's Baylor at BYU, 3.5 points in favor of BYU.
Keep in mind that they are the home team.
Hey, man, I am more than happy to root for App State over A&M.
What happened to you choosing the Texas school with Tech and who was that? Or TCU and it was somebody. You said, "I'll take the Texas school." They come
talking about the Aggies, huh? Taking the Aggies. Screw the Aggies. They can lose every game.
Where did you have BYU?
I had BYU at 21. I think that's a pretty fair spot for them. I see no reason to have dropped them or raised them.
Too terribly much.
I think for them being group of 5, I think 21 is pretty good.
Christian, we talked about this. They are not group of 5.
They are basically group of 5. They're not power 5. They're independent, but they're not power 5. You don't look at them and say, yeah, that's a power 5. No,
they play a good mix. Now that I'm looking at it, they play a good mix of power 5 and group of 5. They play Notre Dame. We talked about that earlier.
If they beat Notre Dame for some reason.
And Baylor beats BYU, watch this.
Taking BYU.
Wow. I don't find that actually far-fetched at all. I think BYU is a pretty dope team.
I think it could happen. I would say that I'd take BYU. I haven't made my pick yet. My favorite thing that we've done on the channel so far is our LoneStar Locks pod.
Bro,
And I have not decided if I'm taking BYU or Baylor yet. Good thing is I have until today's Wednesday.
Is it?
Yeah, when we wrap this up, we've got to make our pregame videos, and then we got to do our lock spot.
Oh man, where are my fake friends at? Taylor's taking Snapchats of the screen and then sending them to me, and one of them was like bald headed and said Raymond.
Do you have Oregon ranked?
Did I rank Oregon? No, I took them out.
Golly. You dropped them from 11 to out. Man, no.
They got donkey stomped.
By the reigning national champions, Logan.
What did you see from Bo Nix that said, oh, yeah, he can make up for it?
Baylor would get donkey. Texas would get donkey stomped. In fact, if you take number 1, 2, 3, and 4, maybe 5, number 6 through 25 would probably all get donkey stomped. Like in college football nowadays, there is a clear top tier and then a big gap and then second tier. I'm not saying Oregon is technically in that second tier. They might be in the third tier, but a lot of teams would get whooped. A lot of teams have gotten whooped by Georgia in the last 2 seasons.
Did the Pac-12 only had one team that won last week? Am I remembering that right?
The Pac-12 only had one. Well, Utah lost. USC. Oregon lost.
I think it was USC.
Yeah, maybe. They played nobody.
Let me look at their standings.
All right. Where do you have Texas? Do you got Texas ranked?
I got them at 20. I think y'all deserve to be ranked.
Bo Nix is a bum, and he made the team worse by transferring there.
Exactly.
All right, Preston. Bo Nix is a bum on the road. Bo Nix at home, actually not that bad. Look it up. Look at him at home for Auburn last year. A lot better. Guarantee Nix is not welcome in Auburn anymore.
Oh, bro, I was completely wrong. Colorado, Oregon, Utah were the only teams that lost.
Wow.
USC didn't play anybody. UCLA, they won 45-17. I don't know who they played.
Did you see the pictures of the UCLA stands, though, during that game?
Dude, yes.
There was like something to 1,000 people in the whole thing.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, people love the Pac-12.
The Big Ten really are very lucky to have just gained UCLA. Thriving.
I really think they only got both of them just because they wanted the whole LA market. That's it.
Preston asks, where do you have USC? I've got USC at the same place the AP poll does, number 10.
I got them at 12.
I think USC's offense, Caleb Williams and Jordan Addison, and then that other receiver that transferred from Mims, maybe whoever it was.
They played Rice.
Williams.
They played Rice.
Yeah, they beat Rice by a lot. I think their defense holds them back. Clay Helton did terrible at recruiting on the defensive front while he was at USC, but I could see their offense doing pretty good. I originally had Utah or Oregon winning the Pac-12, but I guess now I just might as well pick USC because it's not going to be Utah or Oregon.
I think we talked about. I'm trying to remember if we said Utah more likely than Oregon. Because it is USC's first year having that whole new system and everything.
Yeah, we'll see how they are when they actually play Utah or Oregon, I guess.
It won't be this week. So they play Stanford. Then they play Fresno.
Go Trees.
They play Oregon State. And then they play Arizona State. Then they play Washington State. Why are they playing all the little brothers first?
They play the Aggies?
No.
Oh.
Then they play Utah. Then at Arizona versus Cal. Bro, the Pac-12 is weak. Is it weak?
The Big 12 is just tough.
Is it weak, or is it the Big 12 is so wide open it makes it seem like it's tough?
I think that's part of that. I think the Big 12 is tougher than it used to be, but
I think we have a lot better teams than what we used to. Where do you have Texas? I didn't hear you say that. Or if you
I didn't hear you say it.
I got them at 20.
You got them at 20. Wow.
Yeah.
I got them at 24.
Wow.
I mean,
I
they
think y'all
did
should
what
have
they
been
were
ranked in the
supposed to.
first one.
Yeah, we should have been ranked.
That's why I put y'all at 20. I was like, I'm gonna put y'all above BYU.
Texas did what we should have done to ULM, FBS school. We beat them. Big whoop. I think we played a little vanilla. I was concerned a little bit. I was concerned a little bit with some of our play calls, but I do know why. Bijan only getting 10 carries kind of hurt. Like, you got to get him over 100. But I understand you don't want to. There's no point in handing him the ball 25 times against ULM. I get that.
Yeah.
We got Bama coming up. After we beat Bama, we'll probably jump around number 7 or 8, maybe 6. But
I'd put y'all
so
number 1 at that point.
I mean, if that's where Bama's at, we should just take their spot. I agree.
That's where
So I've got the real UT at 24, and I've got the fake UT. That's the little UT, University of Tennessee. I got them at 25.
That's where I have them.
Somebody message Anthony him to go about 51 minutes into this video. He can see where they are. I put on here just a little note. Houston was number 25, I think, in the actual AP poll.
Mm-hmm.
Houston beat unranked UTSA by 2 points in 3 overtimes, so I dropped them out. That's not a good enough win for me to try and act like they should have been ranked any higher than that.
Yeah. So who did you have at, just go through real quick, 22, 23, 24. Or you not, I guess 20. Well, you
So
said 24 and 25.
Yeah, I've got Ole Miss at 20. And at 22, I've got Wake Forest, who apparently Sam Hartman might be coming back better.
Yeah, I heard that today too. He should be back this week or next week. And it was something about blood clots. And they got it all cleared up. He's not on the medicine anymore. He's not on the blood thinners. I didn't know that happened.
We have top 2 running back room in the country. I'm not upset with him only getting 10. I just feel like if you leave him in for one more drive, give him 3 or 4 more, and he probably breaks over 100 yards. That's
who's number 1 in that case.
Who would have a better running back room?
I think y'all have the deepest running back room in the nation. I don't know.
Yeah, we've got 5-star on top of 5-star on top of 5. Yeah, I mean, technically Roshan's not, because he was a 3-star quarterback.
That's like Abram Smith being a 3-star linebacker and then getting drafted to be a running back.
I will say that I personally trying to remember the guy's name for Ohio State. He's really good. Evan Stewart is really good. There are some good running backs. I think Bijan's the best running back in the league. Watching his highlights, it's not. We talked about it in the post game. I think every run Bijan does, he just seems like he's 1 or 2 steps or 1 or less, a quarter of a broken tackle away. I'm just taking every single rush to the house. So.
Yeah, but doing this, I think that we, how we're sitting here talking about it, I think we might have to just record these separately. Because we've been talking about this for a while.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, we can, I think Preston's pretty much, we got one other person in here.
Yeah, I don't know where Barry's at. He's supposed to be in here, but he wants to be fake, I guess.
It's all good. We really just decided to do this kind of last minute. We need to, once we get a schedule together and we're able to, you're right, waffle myself when I'm going. Honestly, I mean, I don't think I can name who would be. And if we still had Isaiah Nayor, we'd have, in my opinion, we'd have the best receiving, maybe Ohio State. Just because, I told Logan this a million times, there was only 8 receivers last year to have 12 or more touchdowns. There's only 5 returning to college football. Xavier Worthy's one, and Isaiah Nayor was the other. So we would have been the only school in college football to have two receivers that had 12 or more touchdowns last year. So I'd probably still put Ohio State's over ours, even if we had Nayor, but we had opportunity to have, and I think we saw that was lacking a Saturday. We could have used another receiver because Eggs got open. Preston, I don't know if you saw or you did because you watched the game. That first play that Quinn threw where it almost got picked off on the right hash, that X was open. And on Longhorn Network, I went and rewatched the game. It doesn't look like he was open as much as he was. He was open. It just didn't get he didn't let go of the ball fast enough. And I'm sure that he's first time throwing the ball, he's probably in his head a lot about, is it open? Should I pull the trigger? He's got to trust his gut, pull the trigger. The pick that he threw, he had two guys open on that one that he could have threw underneath. He didn't. He held on to it, rolled out, and forced it. Came back, played the rest of the game pretty good. Went 16 of 22 after that, so 16 of 24 total. I'm not mad at that at all. But
Preston, I got a question real quick after Christian gets done. While I'm thinking about it.
I was just gonna say that we're gonna try to get a better schedule done. We're looking at Sunday night or Sunday recording our post game shows, posting those either Sunday night or Monday morning. That would put us at the poll when AP drops their poll. If that's on Monday, then on Tuesday we'll drop our poll, and then Thursday we'll drop our Lone Star Locks, and then Friday we'll do our pregame for that upcoming game, and then we might try to sneak in a live stream once a week if we can. He just needs to do and not think. There were several plays that he held on to the ball too long. I agree. But there was also one where he held on to it to Jatavion Sanders. It was open across the middle when they were going towards the left end zone. He held on to it and then found him and threw it. There was a couple that he threw it to Bijan late. But, hey, that's why you give him the reps. I would have been fine with him playing the whole game. Seeing as he only got sacked once, I think he should have played the whole game. And but go ahead, Logan.
Man, Preston, I just got a question real quick because Christian said it before a couple times. Man, if I went to school with y'all and I was the same age as y'all, you think I would have been a good fit in the crew or no? Christian said it before. He's probably going to deny it.
Depending on, I think he'd have been in our group. He wouldn't have been on our lists for sure. Me and Preston had a list. Not a bad list. We had a list. We had a list of people that just like somebody would do something stupid. We're like, they're on our list. They're dumb. Now, you'd have been good. You'd have fit in a lot better than Preston. What was that redheaded kid's name in our wildlife management class? I can't remember his name. He was funny, but there was something wrong with him. He works at Walmart now. He works at the Pasadena Walmart in the hunting and automotive section.
Was he making lists with y'all too?
Huh?
Was he making lists with y'all too?
Making what?
On the
list?
Yeah.
No, he was our friend.
I was about to say that's why he's working in the gun department.
No, it wasn't that kind of list. Stop it.
Yeah, okay.
It wasn't. It was just like all right, you're stupid. We don't like you. You're on our list. We just don't like you. I never once said that about a list and even considered that.
Preston's gone silent, so I guess that's a hot no.
Preston said, like Baylor, screwed.
That's what it seems like.
Might as well be an Aggie. Hey, Preston, I thought the same thing. He's all right. I'd have to hang out with you first to determine. Pretty brutal, some kids in my. Just don't be Connor Garcia. I can't remember, that was sophomore year. I can't remember his name either, but he rode my bus too. Dude, Connor Garcia would get the worst of Uno. we'd be passing cards under the table during Uno just so that we could +4 them.
No, bro. I talk to Christian for
We
like
would,
6 hours a day. I think I'd be all right.
yeah, straight up. This is all we do all day. That's why we made the podcast, is because we're on the phone. We both work at the post office in Jacksonville, and we talk for like 6 hours a day, and we just talk about it's either college football, Jesus, or finances. So
Yep.
those are
They've
our
strayed
three
away from
topics.
finances here recently.
Well, we might need to pick that up because we don't talk about college football at work anymore because we got to save it for the pod.
Yeah. Hey,
Uh,
yo. Austin. About time somebody joined. I thought all my friends were fake at Barry. He said he got on for like a minute or two, then he got in the shower. Austin, you can't ball. You know that. Oh, I'm joking. Austin can hoop. Austin can hoop.
nah.
I gotta go grab my laptop charger real quick.
Well, let's go ahead and end this. We're gonna just record our poll also and post that as a separate video because we weren't expecting it to take us an hour.
Yeah.
Mainly because there was some miscommunication on where I had people. I should have numbered this better. But
I wish I would have done it at midnight last night.
Yeah, it's 10:17. So go grab that. Let's hop on the Zoom calls. Try to record that in our our pre-games. Cool. All right, guys. We appreciate y'all, and we will.
We appreciate you, Preston.
Yeah, buddy.
That's about it.
I'll see you next Friday at in Palestine.
That'd be this Friday, wouldn't it?
No, he's got to close this Friday. Remember?
Oh yeah. My fault.